Hello and welcome to the first episode of Draw with T, or Draw with Tay. Let me know in the comments how you read it coming into this. So my name's Tegan, I'm an artist, and here for my first video, I'm just showing you guys a test video that I took actually. I've always wanted to do these sort of speed draw things and never really thought I could until I found a really old 7-year-old Sony Cybershot, so decided to warm up and test the camera by just doing the normal anatomy study that I do. These are things that I've been doing now for 9 months. At the start of the year, I decided that I really didn't do enough art studies, so I tried to think up of things I could do, and I've kind of done this in the past. And when I just decide I'm going to do studies, I never really go anywhere with it, so I thought, hey, you know what? What if I grab one of the many art books off the shelf and just draw along? So this book is Figure Drawing by Michael Hampton, and it's a really, really good anatomy book. If any of you are looking for an anatomy book for artists, I would highly recommend this book. I wouldn't say it's the only anatomy book that you need in your collection, but it's definitely a good place to start. It's a book that cares a little less with exacts, like, this is the pectoralis, which, by the way, is what I'm drawing here, and just kind of shows you how shapes move. I find it quite good. It doesn't cover everything, but, really good starting book. So here, I'm basically studying the pectoralis muscle, and I'm basically just drawing the things that Michael Hampton has laid out on the page. Right now you can tell I'm writing down notes. I know you can't really read it. It's not entirely important that you do. I think it's important to take your own notes. So these are just notes for future me, for if I ever happen across this page again and, need understanding. I used to believe that the best way to learn art was just to draw something 100,000 times and, beat it into your muscle memory. But lately, I've actually been finding a lot of wealth from drawing these things, leaving notes, because it takes a long time to properly learn things, and sometimes having those notes, hey, sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes you need a little note like C curves for squashes, S curves for stretches, just to remind you later on. So now moving on to a proper illustration, I just kind of started off with some tiny little abstract shapes that Michael Hampton had laid out, and they're kind of helpful. But the pectoralis muscle, can't say I fully understand it still after doing this page of studies, but, learned quite a bit. So here I'm kind of picking at this drawing. I'll be honest, I was very aware of the camera that was pointed at me, so I was kind of drawing very lightly, a little worried. I was trying to beat the clock. The camera only records for 30 minutes, and usually my sketches take anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour, so never having used the camera before, I was unsure if I'd be able to hear it churn off or anything. And then trying to draw from another artist can be hard. You tend to, at least I, tend to draw very slowly at first, and I kind of just pick at it. I'm like, how do I form this frickin' oval? How do I form the clavicles like I'm doing here? How does the sternum look? And I remember looking at this page and just thinking, I have no idea how Michael Hampton started this sketch. So in that kind of situation, you just gotta guess. And I mean, there's a lot to learn from drawing in the way another artist does. But sometimes, if you're not copying from a speed draw or something, or a step-by-step, all you can do is guess. All you can do is guess what lines they put down first. And you can see right here at this moment, I'm drawing what I see and using the method he gave, but on that one side there that I just did, the left side of the torso, my right-hand side, that doesn't feel like how a pectoralis should look, but, I don't quite understand how the little fan that attaches to the arm quite works. Maybe it would make more sense to me if I added in the the deltoids, the biceps, and all that. But you just gotta draw. And if you know you're doing a study that's gonna make you grow, you're gonna do a study that makes you grow when it's a little difficult. If you're just breezing through it, if you're just like, I draw anatomy all the time, let's draw some anatomy, you're not learning as much as if you're, something you suck at. And I wouldn't say anatomy is something I suck at. There's plenty of things I suck at more, but definitely when you draw a lot of characters, as I kind of do, it's good to know, and it's good to brush up. Yeah, here, this study was a little faster than the other one. Nice 3/4 angle, and I'm basically just sketching what's in the book. It was a lot of fun, actually, and I was actually really stoked with how the results of drawing this page turned out, and I'm glad I get to share it with people now. And I hope you guys are having fun watching me draw. I've got quite a few more episodes to do. So let's see. Yeah, so here I am doing the clavicles. And do I do a bit of a scapula in the back? I don't remember here. The main focus of this was just the pectoralis muscles, which are very fun muscles to draw, though. To be honest, I'm not sure if I fully understand how they go down, but, this isolated study did help me out a bit with the sort of shape and how it tucks down and whatnot. If you guys ever get stuck doing art, I would highly, highly recommend that, you consider grabbing an art book, because I have a feeling you probably have at least one art book, and if not, you should consider building a library if you're a serious artist. There are definitely some books there that almost every artist should own, and they're definitely worth being more than just bookshelf warmers. I think a lot of people have these books, like the Andrew Loomis collection and, Paint Light Study. There's a really famous painting book, or, Painted Ink, or 5 C's of Cinema, you name it, and a lot of people buy these books, but I tend to not ever hear them actually talk about reading it, and you can gain so much if you actually crack those books open and read them. If you want to go that extra level, I highly advise that you not only just read them, but start applying the concepts. If it feels awkward, that's just part and parcel with it. It's how you grow. You gotta feel frustrated to learn something new, right? Though I wouldn't say I felt incredibly frustrated with this study, but I did go to art college, and one of the most intense classes I had was anatomy class, and I had an amazing teacher who really impressed upon me how intricate anatomy is and how useful it is. So for me, this is a little bit more of a refresher than it is learning something new. But still gotta, if you don't really draw anatomy very often, it's good to know. I'm a cartoonist, so this is a stylized anatomy here. Hampton is a much more stylized version than exact reality, which is helpful for a cartoonist, but it's still quite realistic. It's good to know, even if you want to be a cartoonist, how to do this sort of stuff. Because, part of it is learning how to do it in reality, and then how to change it. Ooh, here we get to see the page I'm going to draw. So you kind of get a glimpse there of the profile version that I just drew. Let me know how you thought I did. I think I did pretty good, considering each of these sketches probably only took, 5 to 7 or so minutes. And then if you look down there at the bottom, that sort of arm up and arm out figure is what I'll be drawing next here. And I'm just sharpening the pencil. This footage is just, I think, 100% sped up. I didn't cut anything out. I'm kind of like just leaving things in, leaving the raw in. I kind of just want to show you guys what it's like to be an artist. I'm sure quite a few of you watching this are already artists. You might even be more successful or further along in your career than I am, but I don't see a lot of people just show everything. I've seen a lot of doctored versions. I've seen a lot of very clean-cut, well-lit stuff, but I don't really see a lot of people just going to their desk, putting the camera on and drawing. And maybe it's just because everybody's got an amazing setup, or maybe people are self-conscious. I don't know. I'm a little bit self-conscious, but I love sketching, and I kind of like that roughness of sketching, the preliminary ideas and all that, and I kind of want to carry that into my videos here, you know. Yeah, I want to do some nice videos. I don't want to look like crap, but, you know, first of all, I'm working with a 7-year-old Sony CyberShot camera that can only shoot 720. So thank you guys for putting up with the video quality. I will in the future get a better camera, if at all possible. Couldn't use my phone for this because my phone is a iPhone 5S, and it doesn't have enough storage space for even a little video, unfortunately. So yeah, but you know, it's not always about the equipment. Sometimes it's about the entertainment or the value. And I hope you guys are entertained by the way I'm drawing here. I certainly was. If you're an artist and if you haven't filmed yourself drawing, I would highly recommend you tape your phone to an easel, or you dig out an old camera and borrow a tripod from a friend or something and just point the camera at your sketchbook or whatever you're working on and just film it. Even just 30 minutes. You don't gotta post it. I was telling a friend of mine this. She was interested in doing videos too, and I said, hey, you know, you could just film it. You don't have to post it for anybody. It's really fun to see yourself sketch. I have never seen myself sketch before. Because, you know, in that moment, I'm in it. And doing these videos, I shot a batch of these. It was amazing to see myself draw, and I'd highly recommend you guys try it. It was so fun. You kind of realize, you know, the mistakes you make or how timid you are in certain areas and where you're most confident. Like, you know, some sketches here, like I'm picking at this one, but, you know, it's kind of detailed stuff. And earlier in that first one in the upper right corner, I was just scared of that one. You see here, those two little squiggles I put down. On the left side of the body, my right, that's a C curve. On the other side is an S curve. And in the book, Hampton talks about these quite often, and I'm kind of understanding how to use them. And I also have a tendency to forget and actually flip them, which is not a good thing. You really shouldn't be mixing them up. So there I just kind of made a note for myself, like, see here, this side is, when it scrunches up, it's a C curve, and the other one is an S curve. Yeah. Then I'm going to do a tiny little space sealer, filler doodle here that isn't in the book. It's just something I like to do sometimes to see if I've got an understanding of it. And yeah, that's basically it. When we go to the final page here, I'm going to zoom out here and show you guys the final page. You'll notice there's a little doodle in the bottom corner, and the reason I stopped filming for that was I wasn't sure about how YouTube dealt with artistic nudity, shall we say. And I think they'll deal with it fine. So yeah, here's the final results. Quick little overview, and there's that little doodle I skipped. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.